sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports Page brought to you by Kaufman and Lind Injury Attorneys. Overreaction Football Monday. Where do you want to begin? How about the nightcap last night in overtime, Bulldog?
Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable NFL action over the weekend. I mean, good Lord. Actually, let's start with the state teams.
Okay.
How about,
all right.
First of all, Tyreek Hill gets arrested, all right? Gets arrested, gets handcuffed, plays in the game against the Jaguars. 80-yard touchdown catch, longest of his career. 7 catches, 130 yards. What a bizarre afternoon for the for Tyreek Hill.
Was he actually arrested though, dog? Wasn't it just detained?
Reckless? He was arrested for reckless driving.
Okay.
And he was face down on the concrete in handcuffs. Calais Campbell also got handcuffed, a Dolphins player who's he was like the NFL Man of the Year a couple of years ago.
Also had a good game yesterday.
Yeah. Unbelievable turn of events yesterday. The Dolphins beat the Jaguars right at the closing seconds on a field goal to win the game. I got to tell you, my Jaguars had that game. They had that game. They were up 17-7. Were you watching, Litch?
They had it until Etienne, got that ball punched out, and that turned everything right there on a dime.
It was about to be 24-7. Etienne fumbles right as he's crossing the goal line, or right before he crossed the goal line. They lose the ball. Next play, Tyreek Hill, 80 yards. Mm-hmm. Boom. Changed the complexion of the game.
I felt so bad for the Jags, but, I mean, you gave it up.
Yeah. What about the Bucs?
Strong.
Baker Mayfield, my God, 4 touchdown passes. Unbelievable performance by him. 280-something yards passing. It was an incredible performance by Baker Mayfield.
Does anybody remember the phrase from when he was first starting?
Baker in for the win from Taco Bob.
Pow!
4 touchdown passes, 2 of those to Mike Evans. You think the Browns wish they'd kept him because Deshaun Watson stinks.
And then not only did Mayfield have, through the air, but he was doing some Houdini-like escapes back there in the backfield as well.
Mm-hmm. That guy has just resurrected his career. So, unbelievable. Your Meatheads win. 26-20 in overtime, the game you were mentioning. Wow. What were they up in that game? They were up like 17-3 at one point, blew the lead, but they ended up beating the Rams 26-20 overtime. David Montgomery, other big games in the NFL. What do we got? God, what happened to the Bengals? My God.
They looked awful. Just terrible.
They lose to the Patriots 16-10.
How about the Pittsburgh game with
all field goals?
6 field goals, right?
Who had that kicker?
Steelers beat the Falcons. Yeah, nice investment in Kirk Cousins there. Kirk Cousins, the only touchdown pass he threw was a broken coverage to Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts scores a touchdown. That should tell you something right there. All right. So, uncovered in the end zone. That was the only touchdown that the Falcons got. They were supposed to have this great running game, and Kirk Cousins was supposed to upgrade, but the Steelers beat them 18-10.
How about Caleb Williams getting his first win as a Bear and leaving Bears fans very hopeful about a bright future?
Yeah, he didn't look very good.
A win's a win, man. I think that's all they really care about there yesterday. Hey, there are 2 things I think that are pretty apparent. The Panthers and the Giants both still suck.
Oh God, the Panthers. The Saints buried them 47-10. Bryce Young. Good God, did he look awful in that game. 13 of 30, threw a couple of interceptions. I mean, he's just bad. I mean, you can talk about the team around him being bad. He's bad, too. So, terrible. Anthony Richardson looked pretty good, even though the Colts lost to the Texans. He had like 2 long touchdown passes, ran for another one. The Texans win the game 29-27. But Anthony Richardson he's not very accurate. He was only 9-19, but he was exciting.
I told my friends though he was hot and cold on the Gators at the games that I was at. It was like, he's not here today, or he's, oh my God. So I hope he pulls through solid and consistent.
Well, speaking of the Gators, that's a good jumping off point to get into some college football. On what was another kind of cupcake Saturday, very eventful it turned out, Dog.
Yeah, speaking of the Gators, DJ Lagway, their freshman phenom, he comes in first start, 456 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Gators pound Samford. I think Billy Napier is going to have to start DJ Lagway from here on out. UCF also rolls against Sam Houston. Davy Crockett was not in town for that game, by the way, but Sam Houston just gets buried by UCF. UCF, you want to talk about a running game? They lead the college football in running. They had 457 rushing yards in their first game, and then R.J. Harvey led them to 389 rushing yards against Sam Houston. So, yeah, UCF can run the football. They have their Big 12 opener next week. Miami blows out FAMU. Are you talking about Northern Illinois?
I want to get to that in a second, but how about South Florida taking Bama into the fourth quarter with a 1-point deficit? They end up getting blown out, but I mean, it was those Bama fans, when they were showing them in the stands going into the fourth quarter, they looked like, uh-oh.
I know. I turned that game on late, and I was like, it was a 1-point game, and then just like that, Bama scores 4 touchdowns, I think, in the fourth quarter to blow them out. But yeah, Northern Illinois beats Notre Dame.
In South Bend!
In South Bend. Yeah, my God.
The team motored over on a bus. They came in a bus and kicked their asses.
By the way, why is Northern Illinois ranked below Notre Dame? Notre Dame's still ranked.
Right.
Northern Illinois is not. Texas buries Michigan 31-10. So Texas now number 2 in the country. What about Georgia Tech? They thought they were good after beating FSU. Then they lose to Syracuse.
Oh, man.
31-28.
Oh, boy.
By the way, the team I picked to win the SEC, Tennessee, did you see what they did to NC State?
Yeah.
Both teams ranked 51-10. Heupel's got it rolling up there in Rocky Top.
He does, man. They're the team.
So we'll see what happens.
Joey Logano in Atlanta yesterday, first playoff race.
That's right. Joey Logano, he is Mr. Clutch when it comes to the playoffs. Although last year he didn't do much in the playoffs, but he's won 2 championships, looking to be I think the only active driver to win 3 if he's able to win the championship. But yeah, he wins in Atlanta, so the playoffs continue there. Orlando City and the Orlando Pride both won over the weekend. The Pride's still unbeaten. They're the 72 Dolphins of the NWSL, by the way. So, wow.
The men played over the weekend? Who'd they play?
They beat Nashville, did they not?
I thought they were off this weekend.
I thought they actually they were that was last week. They beat Nashville 3-0.
You're just blinded by the Pride right now. It's okay. By the greatness of the Pride, they're kicking ass.
All right, Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. Plenty more to talk about on Overreaction Football Monday. If you want to click over there, we won't be offended because he takes time out of his busy show to join us here for the sports page each and every weekday morning on JRR. Brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Coppin every Saturday morning, 7:30 on FM 96.9 The Game. You can catch extended versions on your favorite streaming platform.
Lynch and Taco. Always on demand.
Download their podcast podcast daily on our free iHeartRadio app.
Get it now at WJRR.com.